Coming to you from the Walter Sisulu National Botanical Garden out in Portview in Johannesburg. My name is Tumi Sedumedi. Welcome to this edition of the Art Bulletin. We thank you so very much for staying with us. Local artist Malibongwe Shangas is currently in Bremen, Germany after being selected to participate in an artist in residency program. His exhibition, currently on at the African Arts Center in Durban, is produced on paper in the mediums of woodcut and oil pastels.
Malibongwe recently won an art grant from the city of Bremen in Germany, and we decided that we'd mount an exhibition to honor him and the work that he's done. He's a young artist, and this exhibition he's titled My Life. It's an exhibition of woodcut prints and oil pastels on paper. Basically, he loves to speak about the township in which he lives, the people around him, and he also says that often his inner emotions play a large part to do with what he puts on paper.
Families from all parts of Cape Town will gather at the Fragrant Family Festival from the 15th to the 17th of November. The event celebrates the arts with a focus on theatre that is specifically aimed at children and young people.
The festival is predominantly a theatre festival, and it's shaped through the community and through Asate. And what we're doing is it's really a family-based and community festival. So there are a host of different shows people can go see. There are family activities, there's face painting and a variety of workshops. And it's really to invest in the people who live in Fragrant, but also for outside community who are interested to come in and have a look and go to shows and be invested. As far as I know, it is the first one that has happened before. There have been smaller projects which have run with the community, and this is the first kind of full-on theatre festival.
The National Arts Festival in Grahamstown is accepting applications for Fringe productions wanting to participate in the 2014 edition of the event. Anyone is welcome to apply, as long as you keep in mind that the closing date is Friday the 17th of January 2014.
The Fringe has mushroomed in size since its inception in 1979, when a community of 10 events comprised the Fringe. It now consistently boasts over 350 events across all the art genres. Disciplines include children's theatre, film, comedy, drama, physical theatre, dance, cabaret, visual art, performance poetry, music theatre, and the full scope of music genres. Application for the 2014 Fringe can be submitted via the festival's website. Interested artists, performance directors, and producers can also request application forms and information booklets from the Fringe office by email. The festival will take place from the 3rd to the 13th of July 2014.
The Jam Nights, brought to you by Johnny Walker and hosted by bassist and composer Kalamoon Belly, take place at the Baseline in Newtown every Wednesday. The weekly session sees the Kalamoon Belly trio jam with any musician keen to join in on the fun of improvisation.
All right, the Lab of Learning Jam Sessions happens on Wednesday nights at the Baseline in Newtown. And it's a place where musicians can come along and students of music. I'm the bass player. I host it. I've usually got Jonathan Crosby on guitar and Justin Bardenhorst on drums, two really accomplished musicians. And when they can't make it, then I have Paul Hanmer's playing next week with us, for example. So we play about half an hour of original music that I've composed. And every week I try to bring new music so people can come and see a sort of a little mini concert of some avant-garde chamber music.
Franklin Players Theatre is getting ready to make Josie's festive season pantomime fabulous with their rendition of Robin Hood titled Heroes and Friends, the sort of real adventures of Robin Hood. The stage productions, which is set to have their audience in stitches, kicks off on the 22nd of this month.
It's a group of people that are coming together from the community and showing their talents and giving it out, giving back to the community, you know. And it's a lot of fun because the script is very well written. It's basically like a love story as well, because you've got Robin Hood, you've got Maid Marian, you have the sheriff that wants Maid Marian, but he's got his ulterior motives, you know. Then you've got Madam Tittle Tattle. So you've got different characters bringing out different parts, and you're telling a story of a man that's robbing from the rich to give to the poor, but he's trying to fight for the kingdom to come back. You know, so it's basically bringing my fantasy alive again.
It promises to be a landmark moment for contemporary art in the context of South African auctions. That's Straws and Company's evening sale of South African and international art featuring Jane Alexander's works Untitled and West Coast African Angel.
There's a few contemporary works, important contemporary works on the sale, but largely by virtue of the two very, very important Jane Alexanders that we have. The one is this here on my left, which is called West Coast African Angel. The other one is that sculpture over there, which is called Untitled. They were both produced concurrently with The Butcher Boys, which is her seminal work, the three figures that sit in the park bench, the three kind of horned demonic figures that sit in the park bench that are now part of the South African National Gallery permanent collection. And they are so popular, in fact, those sculptures, that they are obliged to be on permanent display at the South African National Gallery because people want to see them so often. And they're probably also the best visual arts ambassadors of South African contemporary art of that era, of the late 80s era, because they've traveled all over the world, really. They won the 1995 Venice Biennale, as well as a lot of other very prestigious exhibitions.
Sibongile Khumalo, Mbuso Khoza, Ringo Madlingozi and Kulichana are some of the musical acts that will headline this year's Live at the Market Theatre series of music concerts. The series kicked off on Friday and ends on the 7th of December.
Live at the Market Theatre is a music platform, a newly launched music platform. The idea, as I was told, is to create a permanent space or permanent place for music at the Market Theatre. So the plan, as far as I understand, is to have different spaces, venues, configurations centered around music. And I suppose the timing of it, manje, as we go towards December, is to have a great time, is to be able to groove, is to be able to just relax and be silly as we're approaching silly season. But what is also interesting is that, it's creating space. It's not limiting the performances to only the young, hip and happening commercial music.
Classical music lovers will be treated to the sounds of internationally acclaimed soprano Pretty Yende, who come to South Africa for 2 concerts only. The concerts take place at the Teatro at Monte Cassino and the Opera House in Cape Town on Thursday the 14th and Saturday the 16th of November, respectively.
Yende's recital program will include La Promessa by Rossini, La Ricordanza by Bellini, L'Amor Funesto by Donizetti, and La Fille de Cadiz by Delibes. The Piedritifo-born soprano will be accompanied by Professor Kamal Khan on the piano and the harpist by Jane Theron. Officials have promised opera lovers and classical music enthusiasts a pretty amazing evening. Yende first came to international attention in 2010 when she was the first artist in the history of the Belvedere competition to win first prize in every category. Her future engagements include her first staged appearances at Lucia at the Dolce Opera in Berlin, her debut at the Grand Teatro Lucia in Barcelona as Norina, and her Washington National Opera debut as Michaela.
And that's how the Art Bulletin comes to an end today from the Walter Sisulu National Botanical Garden out in Portview in Johannesburg. Do check their website out on www.sanbi.org.za. You can also keep in touch with us by emailing the Art Bulletin at sabc.co.za. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. Our handle on Twitter is @theartbulletin and our Facebook page address is The Art Bulletin and in brackets Morning Live. Until next weekend, it's a goodbye from us.